Reading books, dying art, or a resurgence? Honestly, I'm a little concerned, but I also see a bright spot, and I'll tell you what that is in this video. Welcome, colleagues. George Sloan. This is Myford University. Um, we work with folks on creating alternative paths to traditional higher education. And we talk about the idea of gathering knowledge skills and applying those skills to get solid real world results. So, reading books. A lot of people will tell you, oh, that's yesterday, it's dying art, so on and so forth. But there is a bright spot, and I want to bring that up. Um, Sometimes you got to make, lemonade out of lemons. So here's what I mean. I am a firm believer, of reading books, and I believe in them because, again, and I'm talking actual books. You can highlight them, you can underline them, you can make notes in them. If you own them, don't do it to a library book. But there's something about having that book and the ability to go back to your shelf and reference it. Granted, you know, you can do the, online reading. You can do, the Kindle, whatever it happens to be. I've done and I've tried books, you know, on my phone or on my iPad. Granted, it's very convenient. It's always with you. It does have some value that way. But at the end of the day, I really like the ability to touch and hold and write in my books. A lot of people have kind of gotten away from it. In fact, there's some scary statistics I've been seeing and scary videos, YouTube videos I've been seeing, that even students at Ivy League universities don't know how to read a book. They can't read a whole book. And kids are being given abstracts as opposed to, which I guess is Cliff Notes or Monarch Notes, if you know what those things are. Uh, it's great to have a synopsis and a summary, but at the bottom line is, at the end of the day, you should read the book and reference the book. The the process of touching it, holding it, feeling it, reading it, hearing it in your head, that's what reinforces it. And the ability to, write in it. It's Yes, you can with those e-readers, you can do highlighting and stuff, but it's not real easy. Highly recommend you do it. Here's the bright spot. With fewer and fewer people being able to read books, or even attempting to read books, uh, I, I can't recall the exact statistic, but it was startling. Most adults haven't even read one book in the past year. Here is what I look at as the lemonade. Here's the silver lining, if you will. If you read one book this year, you're ahead of most of the adults. You read more than one, you're way ahead. I propose that you should at least try to read one book a month, which means 12 in a year, which effectively puts you in the top 1%, if not higher, because most people don't read actual books anymore. And it's sad because they should. However, I hear there is a resurgence, much like the whole move back to physical media, because people are sick and tired of streaming services and music services extracting what they paid for, so you don't really own it. The same thing can happen with Amazon Kindle. You want to avoid that kind of a problem. And the way you avoid it is you have actual books. There's, something to be said about actually having the ability to own it, reference it, pass it along to somebody, share it with somebody, sell it to somebody. There's something to be said about, having the actual books. And my view is, when it comes to your ongoing self-curated higher education and your continuing ed beyond your formal education, books should be a big part of it. I also recommend courses and certifications, as well as, little projects that experiment in different things. But are a great cornerstone, and quite frankly, it's one that an opportunity I think a lot of people are missing. The other thing related to books is the ability to uh, take good notes. Now, I will use the notes app in my phone if I'm, have something I got to jot down, but I ultimately transfer it back into something else, either on my computer. I will transfer it and put it into some work that I'm doing. But I walk around and carry notebooks. And I like the notebooks because it gives me multiple sensory experiences. I think, I write, I correct, I modify, I can make it a little map, I can visualize. And I feel like note taking and the use of physical books and the involvement of more senses is actually integral to learning and getting higher productivity out of yourself. So the point of this whole video is, do not give up on reading books. If you're not reading books, pick some up, because quite frankly, you should always be sharpening your skills. You should always be learning new things. I will, dig into certain topics. There are, books on how to read books. There are books that, give you points of reference that help you learn and get more productive. There's so many things that you can glean from using and reading actual books. Again, not to say that you shouldn't have books on your e-readers, but I think you get more mileage out of it, and you know that you own the book if you actually have it, in a physical format. Again, this ties into the trend. A lot of people are starting to rebuild their CD collections, their DVD collections. There's a push to go back towards physical media because this whole idea of renting it, you'll end up paying more for it in the long run. And the other thing, I may have mentioned this before, it drives me crazy when I watch a movie, for example, and they edit it or they cut something down or out, or they stick commercials into it. I'd rather watch the actual movie. And again, there's something about the physical media, and what I'm promoting here is work on keeping and building a library of books that you can reference and reach for and research with. That said, excuse me, we're going to keep this one kind of short. Start looking into reading actual books. I'm George Sloan. I want to thank you for joining. Learn it fast, apply it faster. We'll see you the next time. Thank you.